Imagine waking up one day with a quiet, unsettling realization. The life you've been living isn't truly your own. Every decision you've made, every belief you hold, even the desires that drive you, what if none of them came from the deepest part of who you are? What if they were shaped instead by expectations, by conditioning, by invisible forces all around you? Think about it. How much of your identity reflects your authentic self, and how much is a carefully constructed mask, molded by pressure, fear, and the need to belong? How often do you feel like you're just playing a role, living from a script written by society, by your upbringing, or by the quiet fears that whisper in the back of your mind? Today, we explore one of Carl Gustav Jung's most profound insights. Life doesn't truly begin until you find yourself. But what does that really mean? Is it just about self-awareness, or is there something deeper, a transformative journey most never take? Jung, a pioneer of depth psychology, believed true psychological growth isn't about fitting in. It's not about adjusting to norms or chasing success or approval. It's about individuation, the lifelong process of becoming your most authentic self. Yet most people never begin this journey. They live their whole lives wearing a version of themselves built by others, never questioning whether it aligns with who they really are. And deep down, there's a quiet unrest, a sense that something vital is missing. Jung said, "True life doesn't begin until you stop running from yourself." But what keeps us from ever finding ourselves? From the moment we're born, we're conditioned, given names, roles, rules about what's acceptable and what must be hidden. We learn early, express yourself too freely, and you might be told to be realistic, to stop being so sensitive, or that your feelings are too much. So we adapt, we conform, and slowly we tuck away the parts of ourselves that don't fit. We build a mask, what Jung called the persona. The persona isn't bad, it helps us function in the world. But here's the danger. The more we identify with this mask, the more we forget there's something deeper beneath it. We start to believe we are the role we play and lose touch with the truth of who we are when no one is watching. And then there's the other side, the shadow. If the persona is what we show the world, the shadow is everything we hide, even from ourselves. Fears, desires, vulnerabilities, unspoken strengths, the parts we were taught to reject. But the shadow doesn't vanish when we ignore it. It grows stronger in the dark. It shapes our reactions, sabotages our relationships, and leaks out in ways we don't understand. Have you ever been intensely triggered by someone else's behavior? Felt sudden anger or judgment disproportionate to the situation? Jung believed this is projection. We're disturbed by qualities in others because they live unacknowledged within us. Here's the revelation. The shadow isn't your enemy, it's the key to your wholeness. Individuation isn't about destroying the shadow, it's about integrating it, facing what you've denied, bringing it into the light, not to act on it, but to understand it. Because when you do, you reclaim power. You stop being controlled by unconscious patterns. You begin to live from choice, not compulsion. This is where the real journey begins. Not by becoming someone new, but by remembering who you've always been beneath layers of fear, approval-seeking, and conditioning. And yet, most people never sit with themselves long enough to hear this call. We fill every silence with noise, work, screens, distractions, anything to avoid the questions that ache beneath the surface. But the unconscious never stops speaking. It speaks through anxiety, through repeated mistakes, through dreams, through that unnameable longing for something more. Jung saw dreams, art, journaling, and deep reflection as doorways into this hidden inner world. He believed that within each of us lies a vast landscape filled with forgotten emotions, buried desires, and untapped potential. And guiding it all are archetypes, ancient patterns in the collective unconscious, the hero, the shadow, the wise one, the anima and animus, the inner feminine and masculine energies that must be balanced for wholeness. The hero in you longs for purpose, but it cannot fulfill its journey without facing the shadow. In myth, the monster must be confronted. In life, your fear, self-doubt, or shame must be met, not with war, but with curiosity. Ask, where did this fear come from? Is it truly mine, or was it given to me? What is it trying to protect? What might it be hiding? Because within your wounds often lie your greatest gifts, your empathy, depth, resilience, vision. Now here's the final truth, perhaps the most radical of all. You are not a fixed self. The you think you are, the name, the job, the story, is only a fragment. Jung called the true center of the psyche the self, capital S, the totality of who you are, conscious and unconscious, light and dark, known and unknown. And the greatest obstacle to finding it? Not failure, not trauma, but the ego, the part of the mind that clings to identity, labels, and control. The ego says, "This is who I am," but the self whispers, "You are so much more." So how do you begin? First, embrace the unknown. Growth lives in uncertainty. Lean into it with curiosity, not fear. Second, release rigid identities. You are not just your past, your job, or your pain. You are a living, evolving mystery. Third, listen to your inner world, your dreams, your gut feelings, your quiet longings. They are not random, they are guidance. And finally, surrender to the process. Individuation isn't a destination, it's a lifelong unfolding. There is no finished self, only deeper layers of truth revealed over time. And here's the most liberating insight of all. You were never truly lost. The self you've been seeking has been within you all along, waiting not to be created, but remembered. So now the choice is yours. Will you keep living as a fragment, bound by old scripts and borrowed dreams? Or will you step into the unknown and reclaim the fullness of who you are? Because life, real life, doesn't begin until you find yourself. And now you know the way.